Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Creative Beast Studio Beasts of the Mesozoic Era 1/18th Scale Ceratopsian Series Triceratops Horridus. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging, and we'll start with the front this time. So here we have a nice big window, and we've got a sleeve on here, and we'll just slide this off, and we'll take a look at it separately. Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian Series, and it is embossed here a little bit, and it's got some, I don't know, some foil-looking coloring to it, or finish on it, I suppose. 1/18th scale dinosaur action figures. And then here we have some nice artwork of Triceratops Horridus. And I hope I didn't butcher his name. Or species. You know what I mean. So anyway, very nice looking and nice backgrounds in there. On the bottom, we have a license plate number and a barcode. Made in China print. 2021 David Silva Creative Beast Studio LLC. And then here we have Triceratops Horridus 3-horn face. Collectible card inside, Beasts of the Mesozoic. And if you hear some information on the critter, and if you want to see all that, I'll hold it here for a second. You can pause it and read that at your leisure. And then art by R.J. Palmer. Very nice art. And that does it for the sleeve. We'll get it out of the way. Let's take a look at the box itself, and you can see nice big window showcasing a majority of the figure. And then, you know, this side where the sleeve goes on the front is kind of blank. So then here on this side we have some more window where you can kind of see in there. Of course, all my lights are glaring on it really horribly so that you can't see that. Then on the other side, Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian Series 1/18 scale dinosaur action figures. And then there's a nice Triceratops line art drawing. Very nice, by the way. I do like that. And then here we have, where's this? This is the top. And same line art drawing. Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian Series 1/18 scale dinosaur action figure. Adult collectible. Ages 15. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. And now let's take a look at the bottom of the box. And of course here where the sleeve would cover it. Beast of the Mesozoic, far from extinct. Box art by Paul Ramos. So, very cool. Join the dinosaur toy revolution. Check out creative-beast.com for more products and info. Symbols I'm not going to learn. Recycle stuff. And don't give it to babies. David Silva Creative Beast Studios in Hackensack, New Jersey. So thank you, Superman, for stopping that missile. Design, David Silva. Sculpting, Jake Bards. And again, if I am butchering your name, I sincerely apologize. I'm doing the best that I can. Paint, Matt Holt. Prototypes, Jeremy Mons. Creative Beast Studio. And then there's their logo. And from the prehistoric to the fantastic. Now finally, let me get it to the proper orientation and we'll take a look at the back. We have the Wave 3 checklets, each sold separately. Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian Series 1/18 scale. And then I'm not going to try to pronounce all these names and butcher all these dinosaurs. So I'll just bring it in a little closer so you guys can kind of take a look at it. Feel free to pause at any point if there's something I didn't stop on for you to look at long enough. (2021) David Silva, Creative Beast Studio LLC. Creative Beast Studio, from prehistoric to fantastic, and includes articulated action figure, collectible profile card, and color display backdrop. That, my friends, does it for a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and the accessories, and we'll start with the handy dandy instruction manual. It says Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian Series, Ceratopsian Tail Assembly, and dip the tail hole okay, in hot water or heat with a hair dryer for 20 seconds. I usually opt for I have a little heat gun that I got off of Temu, and that's usually what I use for that. And it doesn't take a whole lot to get the tail attached. Attach the tail to the ball joint on the figure once it's heated up. Do not force stiff joints. Apply low heat to allow movement. Very important. Don't forget that. Because if you don't, you might break something. Next up, we have the little collector card. Or it's a card. I don't know how collectible some might say it is. I think it's a collectible card. But it has very nice artwork there. Look, there's a dead, I don't know, small Tyrannosaurus maybe? I'm not sure. But he's like, I'm mad at you. And it Beast of the Mesozoic there. And on the back, Beast of the Mesozoic, and a nice product shot there, Triceratops Horridus, the three-horned face. And there's his stats right there. If you want to pause it right here and read all that stuff, please do so. And then at the bottom it says art by RJ Palmer, creativebeast.com, David Silva, creator, Creative Beast Studios LLC. So very nice. And the last accessory tab is a set of alternate horns, and these are not quite as curved as the ones that are on. These are actually the ones I think come on it in the packaging, and the ones that are on it are the alternate, but I like the alternate ones, so that's the ones I have on it. And you can see, I mean, there's detail sculpted in there. There's a dry brush, or maybe a wash, I'm not sure which, and it looks really, really good. And the cool thing about these horns is you can't mix them up as to which one goes left and which one goes right, because the posts and the ports are different. So very nice that we do have an alternate set of horns. You can have the same color guy, but you can make him a different guy because you put different horns on him. So that makes him a different guy. So let's take a look at the figure himself. And first off, like the paint and the sculpt. Now this looks very hand painted to me. And it could just be, it's not, it may have a wash on it that gives it that look, or it may just be the way that it's applied. But that's the way it looks, and it may be hand applied. I'm not sure. But regardless, very, very striking, very colorful guy. And as far as the sculpt goes, I mean, look at those eyes. All the little scales, the wash, the deco. I mean, it's fantastic. Look at all that detail. And it, you know, it even goes to the underside, the bottom of the feet as well. So a very, very nice sculpt and deco to this guy. Let's talk about his articulation real quick. His jaw, well, it's sort of articulated. Maybe it needs to be heated up. I'm not sure. but it does move some. He does. It's hard to see it, especially when I don't have the camera aimed on it. But inside the mouth, you see his tongue right there, and it's on a ball joint, so it does. It can be moved. So there is that, and then you can see on the inside of the mouth, maybe you can see it if I get the light in there. It's really hard to tell, but it does have like a glossy paint on the inside of the mouth to give it that wet or moist look. Now the head, it's connected to the neck here, of course, and then the neck's connected to the torso here, and that kind of, those both kind of move in conjunction that way, and you also get a little left and right action going on. I'll say a little, but that's actually pretty good. Then at his front legs, and I'm just going to cover one side, you know, he's on a ball joint there. It will rotate 360 degrees. So that's kind of what it does. It kind of rotates. It doesn't really move forward or back. It just kind of rotates. And then it does go out some because it's on a ball joint. So it'll go out about that far. Single hinge and swivel. This guy's kind of heavy. It's hard to manipulate with trying to film it on camera. So single hinge and swivel at his knee here, and it does swivel. And if you straighten the leg up, it will rotate a full 360 degrees. It'll go forward that far, and it'll go back about straight with the rest of the leg. And then here at the ankle, it will rotate 360 degrees, and it will tilt back that far. It'll tilt up that far, and it does have rocker to it because I think it's on a dumbbell or half ball joint, whatever. I'm not sure what the technical term for that is. And it has a cut right here at the mid torso, and that lets him go up that far. It lets him go down that far, but you can see it does kind of make him a little bit gappy, and that's okay though. And then he does get some left and right movement there, so that's good. And then it does have twist as well, and it will twist 360 degrees. Now at the rear legs, it's on a ball joint too. Will it go all the way around? No, it'll go up about that high, which is, you know, I guess hiking his leg on a fire hydrant or something. And back, it'll go that far. So that's really, really good. And then it does have a little bit of in and out there as well. At this first knee, it'll go forward a little better than straight with the upper part of the leg. It'll bend back that far. The lower ankle, it'll about go straight with the leg back. And then that's about all you get forward. And it's a single hinge and swivel, so it will swivel around. This also swivels, I forgot to mention. And then you get to the ankle, and it'll tilt down that far. It'll tilt up that far. It does have some rocker, not a bunch, and it also will rotate 360 degrees. Now the last articulated bit we have is his tail, and it's on a ball joint or half dumbbell It might be on a whole dumbbell. I can't remember. It's been a while since I put this together. So it'll go up that far. It'll go down that far. And let's see. It looks like it's on a full dumbbell. Go left and right. It will rotate 360 degrees as well, although I can't really see needing to do that. Now, as far as changing the horns out, it's as easy as you just pull it off and you get the right one and put it on. Now, these horns are a little bit longer. Well, maybe it's because they're not quite as curved, but they seem like they're a little bit thicker as well. So that's how that works, and that's how they compare up. So let's change these back out real quick if I can get the right ones, because I like these better. To me, they just look cooler. See? And there you have it, my friends. I'll look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Creative Beast Studio Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian series Triceratops Horridus, with the X-Ray Studios Combatants Fight for Glory Gold Hilder, for a 1/18th scale comparison from Hasbro, the Star Wars Vintage Collection Lando Calrissian, and from Mattel Creations, the Masters of the Universe Chronicles King Grayskull. Here we have the Creative Beast Studio Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian series Triceratops Horridus, with the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Legendary Barbarians, from Harbinger Studios the Savage Crucible Nashorn the Disinherited, and from Boss Fight Studios the Epic Hacks Red Sonja. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Creative Beast Studios Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian series Triceratops Horridus, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance Stan the Man Lee, from G.I. Joe Classified series the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander, from Star Wars The Black series the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final ramblings on the Creative Beast Studio Beasts of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian series Triceratops Horridus, I have to say, back in the day, we would have just called this guy Triceratops, and that would have been it. I know things have changed a bit since then, and these guys are based more on their scientific notations than pop culture stuff, names and all that. So, you know, I get that. But to me, this guy's just Triceratops. And, you know, I do think he's a lot more colorful than they would have portrayed him back in the day. In the 80s, he probably would have just been green or brown or something like that. And solid. So definitely the colorations do make for a more interesting dinosaur, especially for a dinosaur toy. Now the sculpt on this one is excellent. The paint on this one is excellent. The quality on this is excellent. And with all that excellence does come a price tag. And, you know, I can understand some people balking at the price on Creative Beast Studio, but I will say this: they are worth what you pay for them. They're high quality, they're hefty, they're solid, and they look really good. And you know, this one moves, the range of movement on this one's a lot better than the Triceratops, not the Triceratops. This is a Triceratops. The T-Rex. How I got them two confused, I don't know. So, you know, I like the fact that this one does get better range of movement. This is, in fact, the first pickup that I got from Creative Beast Studios, and fully with the intention, because I saw it at Joe Fest, people were putting other figures on this guy as a mount, and that is 100% why I bought this guy. I do plan on making a saddle somehow for this guy, and using it as a mount for various fantasy type figures. But I will say, you know, it is a very nice piece. And for someone who just collects dinosaurs, which isn't me, because if you've looked at my channel, you know that my hand is in all the cookie jars basically. And you know, but for someone who collects just dinosaurs, you know, I could see this company on the top of the list, because this is really the only one that does kind of realistic, scientifically based dinosaurs. Now, no, there's Nanmu does some also, and I don't know how those compare up, because I don't have any of the Nanmu stuff. But Nanmu does 1/18 scale like this. They also do some figures in the 1/12 scale. I think they have some raptors in the 1/12 scale, and they may have a different scale too. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they have, like, the bigger the dinosaur, the smaller the scale gets with Nanmu. But I'm not going to swear to that, because again, I don't really follow them, and I don't have any of their products, so I can't really tell you how that compares up if you're, you know, strictly a dinosaur guy. But if you're strictly a dinosaur collector, then you probably already know. You don't need me to tell you. But for everybody else, you know, I have to say, Creative Beast Studios, Creative Beast Studio, while, you know, that initial sticker shock that you see on the product, it is worth it. At least that's my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary, but you know, the sculpts are really good. The articulation, for the most part, is really good. The deco is really, really good, and again, they're solid, and they're hefty, and they're durable. So, you know, when you look at their stuff and you get that sticker shock, excuse me, then keep that in mind, that what you're paying for this guy, at least the retail price. I don't know about the secondary market. I haven't really looked to see what these guys do on the secondary market, because again, you know, I'm not just a dinosaur guy. If I was, I would collect everything these guys put out, but I'm not. So I'm just, you know, a nice piece here and there, and they are nice pieces. I really do enjoy these. I kind of wish that they would do more stuff in the 1/12 scale, but some of these things would be really, really hard to do in that scale. This guy would be, you know, huge in a 1/12 scale. And you know, that would actually put it not necessarily price wise, but space wise, just having somewhere to put it, that would kind of put me in a bind for that. So maybe it's a good thing they don't make more 1/12 scale dinosaurs, but it would be cool. And you know, the dinosaurs that I do have, eventually when I get like a Savage Land set up for my Marvel Legends, eventually, which will probably never happen, I can kind of fudge these guys into that, or I can use them in photography for that. And because I, you know, green screen my stuff, it shouldn't be overly difficult to fudge them into photography. I can make them any size that I want to, really. So there is that. But you know, I can't really tell you how highly I think of the products that, at least the ones that I've purchased from Creative Beast Studio. I can't tell you how highly I really think of that studio. And when I think of them, I do think of a quality, long-lasting piece. And I really appreciate the work that they put in to these figures. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.